I'm Staff Sergeant Formula Signals Dave Jarvis, and this video is part of a series of vlogs I'm doing with the aim of improving and encouraging cycling in the Royal Corps of Signals. Now this week marks the anniversary of the start of the national lockdown, and I thought it only right and proper to take this opportunity to say a massive thank you to our fantastic National Health Service. All your efforts over the last year are very much appreciated. It has been an absolute privilege to have been able to support you in your efforts in combating the pandemic. Thank you very much. Now today is episode 10, and I'm going to focus on the Polar view on the Wattbike Hub. Okay, now for those not in the British military or for veterans who've been out for a little while, Wattbikes are fairly common in British military gyms now, and if you're anything like me, the first time I saw this I had no clue what any of it meant. Okay, so today I'm going to try and provide a little bit more clarity with the aim of enabling you to put this to good use in your training. Okay, so let's start the practical. Okay, first and foremost then, so at the bottom you've got a bunch of grey boxes. I'm not going to talk too much about those today, other than just to say at the bottom you've got all the time, gears, that sort of stuff. The next row of boxes are key ones in training, in my opinion. Power, heart rate and cadence. Ideal to use if you want to get the most out of your training, but if you've got any questions on that, ask in the comments, but otherwise I'm going to focus on the Polar view today, okay? So, the circles in the centre. So there's a load of different circles, little ones inside bigger ones. Basically that's there to show the amount of force you're pushing through the pedals. So the bigger the shape, the further it comes out, the more force you're putting in. The left side of the circles focuses on the left pedal stroke, the right side to the right pedal stroke. The coloured bars on left and right of the circle. Basically you want to keep the little arrow that appears, you want to keep that in the green. That's referring to the PES, the pedaling effectiveness score. That's the number that you see at the bottom. Ideal number is about 75. Basically that shows that you're making efficient use of your pedaling technique. Okay, so and the last number that I want to draw attention to is balance. Left and right hand side of the screen, your leg balance, obviously you want to keep that as close to 50-50 as possible. Big differences, it's worth focusing on the weaker side, so you can try and balance them out. Okay, but again, any questions on any particular part of that, ask in the comments. I'm going to focus on what the Polar view means today. Okay, so let's get this activated. There we go. Right, now just to demonstrate what I've meant about left and right hand side, if I click on the left side, you'll see it bulbs out on the right. If I then switch and focus on the left side, you'll see it bulbs out the left. Yeah, so that just proves the point that one side reflects one side than the other. Okay. Now, what you may be used to seeing, let's back the gears up a little bit just to demonstrate this. What you may be used to seeing is a peanut shape, okay, just like that. What that means is you've got a dead spot in the centre of the stroke, okay, and you don't want that. Basically it means that as part of the stroke you're not getting a lot of power, okay. What you really want to see is something more like, something more like that, straighter lines between the bulbs, okay. That just shows a smooth transition of power between your pedal stroke. Now the trick to getting that is when you're going through your pedal stroke is to drive through the ball of your foot, pretend like you're scraping mud off the bottom of your shoe at the bottom, pull back up again through your heel, and then scrape your shoe again at the top, okay? So you maintain the power throughout the revolution, okay? And that's the trick. Now it's easier to do this at lower cadence, it's much more difficult to do it at a higher cadence, so I'm not going to try and demonstrate that. However, one thing to bear in mind is that when you're going, if you're going to add in a few sprints or increase power suddenly, it will take a minute to go back to its normal average, okay? So that shows the average, all right? To demonstrate that, just to finish this off, get the gears back down again. Love a good sprint. Love the feeling I get from turning my legs inside out. Absolutely love it. Hills and headwinds, my favourite training days. Okay, so like I said, that takes a minute to then get back to its average. So you'll see this start to bulb back out again, as it's doing now, as it goes back to its average. So you just got to bear that in mind when you're doing your training, okay? That's fairly normal. And then the last thing The lines coming out from the centre, that just denotes the angle of peak force. The point in your pedal stroke is essentially the strongest. Okay, so hopefully that covers all the main bases. If you've got any questions at all, bang them in the comments. I'm more than happy to try and help as best I can. There's plenty of other people around the core who know a lot more about this than I do. Hopefully, if they could add a bit more expertise, that'd be great. Any further future subject suggestions, bang them in. I'll try and cover it as best I can. As always, thank you very much for your time and look forward to the next one. I'm going to go get my breath back and a glass of water.